Good morning and welcome back to another episode of The Fishbowl. This is our second attempt to record episode 11 because, I don't know, Mercury retrograde was in full effect, I guess. It didn't record our volume.
Full episode. Might have been the most banger episode to date. Full
Such
45 minutes. It was, devastating when you go back and you see it just on mute. But hey, it's bound to happen every once in a while. So.
We learned something.
Yeah,
it was
test the mic.
Yeah, which we did like 9 times today. So this is definitely getting out there. That last one wasn't meant to be heard by the world for whatever reason. And this one will.
Lovely. So the Memorial Day special. Headed into the long weekend.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather. Feeling great today.
It's going to be 80, beautiful, sunny. We have birthday celebrations, Memorial Day, contributions, and it's going to be great.
Contributions.
Well, I don't know that we really like celebrate the death of our
I know.
soldiers.
I emailed somebody the other day and I was just like, I didn't want to say like have a happy Memorial Day. So I was like, have a well-deserved Memorial Day.
That is so top notch.
You know,
I love
yeah.
that.
Because I to that point, I was like, you don't like. It's not like Memorial Day,
Right.
but it's like long weekend, but
It's
like in
Memorial
honor.
Day.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
Honor of. I said contribution. I didn't donate anything.
Yeah.
I will. I'm holding myself accountable. I will make a donation somewhere this weekend for Memorial Day.
Whether love or effort.
I know he'll keep me accountable.
Absolutely. Well, on this note, do we want to hop into the fishbowl?
Let's do it.
And we left the topics we talked about last time in the fishbowl as well,
We
right?
throw it back in with
we
others.
We might be able to, get back on it.
Yeah,
So,
we'll bring it back.
all right.
Little twist.
I'll let you start it off, Jill.
Let's see. Feels like a freshie.
That's a long one.
Ooh, okay. Time is either spent or invested. This is the framework. So time spent means present actions create no long-term value, and invested time means present actions
Compound.
compound long-term value.
Yeah.
This is
Honestly,
for him.
this was just a song I came across yesterday, a newsletter I get. And it was just like a framework, meaning like a mindset to think about how you spend your time, and I just thought it was pretty interesting, honestly, how your time is either just like money, you know what I mean, either spend money or you invest money, and your time should be thought of as in the same exact way. Like, are you spending time like with activities that might give you quick dopamine hits, like this was fun and rewarding in the present, but is it bringing you any real either long-term joy or benefits, opposed to investing it and making that effort, that time spent that you put up front, making it being able to compound on itself and give you long-term benefits. So it was like just something I want to start trying to incorporate more, is when I do like actions, just am I spending my time, am I watching like a YouTube video that is not going to benefit me long-term? That's spending time. You know what I mean? Or am I investing time, and am I investing it in knowledge? Am I investing it in, I think I'm investing time when I go to the gym.
Right.
I'm investing in,
Your
my health, long term. It's a long term investment. You know what I mean? Am I, doing this? This is an investment in time. I think we're both growing, in our relationship by doing this, in our knowledge by doing this, an
Our
audience.
confidence.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot. So this is not spending time on the podcast. We're investing time in the podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I love it.
yeah, this was literally yesterday. This was the most recent one that I
Yeah.
added into the fishbowl, which was kind of funny because I was like, I wonder if it's gonna get picked or not. But yeah, it was cool, and I think that an investment of time is getting these newsletters that I've kind of curated over the years from people that I think are smarter than me and that offer like good substance and information, and doing that is I think if people aren't it's one good way of getting information, presented to you instead of having to go out and look for it and forage for information. It's, hey, I open my email and if it doesn't catch my eye, just delete it. You know what I mean? It's easy as that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like this week, they kind of stack up. If I'm getting lazy with it, I'll have like 20 emails and I'll just cruise through them. But, this was one of those. Even though I read it yesterday, this was from like a week ago. And I was like, damn, I wish I read it sooner.
I know. Well, I think it's good because I think it gives you like a new perspective on, okay, well, almost like what's the bullshit I could cut? Like what are the distractions?
Yeah.
And like, it's just when you look at something through a lens of like, is this helping me or is this kind of doing nothing for me or worse?
Taken
not
away
benefiting,
from you.
right?
Yeah.
And so I think when you look at it through a lens like that, again and again and again, like always, then it's so much easier to like progress and like do better and just like take yourself and your knowledge and your health and your everything to the next level. You know what I mean?
And this is like a very limited resource. It reminds me of like I opened up the calendar or the poster I bought the other day, the your life in weeks calendar.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna put it anywhere because like we're hopefully moving soon, so like I don't want to like stick it to a wall and have to take it off. But it like goes very well hand in hand with that when you could see visibly all the weeks that you have until like you're 90 years old, let's say, then you think more, in depthly about spending time versus investing time because you see how finite of a resource, just like money, it really is though. I think cool. I think frameworks are just something good to like, mental models, like think about, I don't really like use them nearly enough and hopefully I stick with them. Sometimes it happens like you see it like, oh, that's cool. I want to use it. But if you don't stick with it, it just falls by the wayside,
Well, I think so much of it too is like, and I've said this before, but like your own progress is motivation. And so it's kind of thinking about like when we take the small steps to improve our health and our business and our life and our education and our mindset, it's like small little things over time. You'll start doing deeper and bigger, more expansive things. And like, it just leads to so many more great experiences. Like if you read about, perfect example is me being interested in health and this is my career path and this is my life, right? And I have my own health, so it all kind of comes full circle, but then it's like, I'm interested in the 5 blue zones. So I start by reading about it. I start then, later on by maybe cooking in those different areas and eventually I'm going to visit them.
Yeah.
And so it just sets you up for like this long trajectory and it's like, when you first get into something, you're maybe not going to like buy a ticket and jump there and like, like it's just such a process and that's the beauty of like life and time and that's why we want a greater longevity and that's why we want more time here to learn and grow and experience and it's just the timeline is such an eye-opener for that too.
Yeah, I completely agree. So the dogs are distracting me for a second. But
I
I completely agree with that and time, man. As Mac
So
Miller
precious.
once said, time isn't wasted when you're getting wasted.
Okay. Alrighty then.
Just kidding.
Time's precious. That's what it comes down to.
All right. This is dramatic.
Is this mine?
No, it's mine. It says, hopefully the mic is recording. LOL, like my dad.
I'm going to cry if it's not. Yeah.
It would be devastating if this was.
I can't even think about that. I'll throw that out and burn it. I don't want to see it.
I just like the L, L, dot, dot, O, dot, dot, L,
yes.
just like how my dad does it. All right, I'm going to pull another one now. Oh, I grabbed 2. I said, so hard staying in routine when traveling. I said, that's where discipline comes into place. I don't know when I wrote. This might have been from when I was traveling from work a lot. And it is very hard to stay in discipline when you're just it's a mix for me at least of discipline as well as like optionality. It's what I mean. It's like it's hard to stay disciplined when you're it's easy to stay disciplined when you're in your environment that you've curated to fit your goals. So like here, like we don't have a lot of junk food. Like I know like my routine is in place. Wake up, go into Raymond's old room, get my gym clothes, go to the gym. You know what I mean? Come back, the breakfast. You know what I mean? Same breakfast every day, everything like that. It makes it a little bit easier to stick into that routine. When I was traveling for work and, when I was in Durham for a couple days or even Florida, it's like not only is your routine completely screwed up, but your resources aren't the same. You have the hotel gym instead of, your regular gym, which, I went there. I still try to maximize it, but it's easy to use that as like an excuse. Like, oh, it's not like my typical thing. Like food consumption, very hard, like especially us, like we eat like a little bit, stricter in certain ways. It's like, when you go like, when you don't have grocery stores, but you're eating out of hotels and like on the go stuff, it makes it a little bit easier to like break away. Like when I was in Durham, like every night I was like, oh, like I didn't get enough food in today. Like I'm gonna eat like a Cliff Bar and like trail mix with like M&Ms in them and like muscle milk,
Yeah,
and like in my mind I was like, yeah, this is fine, but like so heavily processed, like it was disgusting. But I was like, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Right.
But yeah, it was just traveling makes life hard.
Yeah.
It really does.
I know. Well, it's just because I feel like consistency is just the backbone, like the foundation of like strength. And so when we can't practice the consistency, it's almost like if we haven't been doing it long enough, we almost are like, okay, what do we do? Like, we're back in square one when we shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, so we want to, it's so hard, but I feel like if we can like flip the mindset of being like scattered, like, oh my gosh, what do I do? To like, ooh, this is a challenge. How can I like look at this menu and find things that'll work for me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a good, healthy way to kind of be like, okay, I got this. This is still fun.
Yeah.
Challenge myself. And like, that's how I've learned to look at it, you know. When we go out for like family dinners and people are like, oh, let's go to this restaurant. Like, I used to be like, oh my God, how the fuck am I supposed to stay on track with like my goals and my health? And I don't eat meat. And so, you know, we're going to a steakhouse and what do I do? And so it used to be like a stressor almost. And I've shifted it to be like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. What can I get off this menu?
It's like a treasure hunt.
It is. It's like literally like, I love it. It's like a mystery to solve, you know? And so it's like, okay, steakhouse, boom, baked potato. Nice, I got my starch. You know what I mean? They have sides of vegetables. Pick your poison, you know? Or get a salad and add the potato. Or see if they have, you know, Italian restaurant. Maybe some scotto and beans. I don't know. But, like, figure out what you could do to make it work. And remember, it's not for the rest of your life.
That's just a one-off thing that you're trying to make as, like, you know, the best out of a not optimal situation. Or not even not optimal, because you don't want to think of dinner as, like, a burden. Or, like, going out, you know?
Right.
Which is, like, part of, like, it's crazy, like, the mindset that you have to have is like, you know, like how easy it is to kind of like fall into these traps of like, like we used to love going out. You know what I mean? Like love going out to eat. And then now it's like, we're going out again. Like it's fucking hard. You know what I mean?
I'm like, can we please stay home?
Which is crazy. Like we used to like disgusting amount.
Like we couldn't stay home. We couldn't even if we tried. We'd be like, all right, instead of going out for like a sit down, we'll go to like quick kava. Or
that was us like chill, relaxing back. We'll go fast casual.
Like that's not doing it.
And now we're like, no, we have to go out again. It's how things change.
In a beautiful way, because there's so many more benefits now.
Yeah, I agree. Save money, eat healthy.
Support yourself. The only way that you can control ingredients is when you're the chef.
Literally.
Right? So, I mean, yeah, it's difficult, but I feel like if you can find the challenge and the fun in it, then it's a different ballpark. But it's really, with any change, you have to be consistent. Even on the days you don't want to be, you have to be consistent.
What was your quote about consistency the other day? You said something.
The key to success is consistency. You don't have to be extreme. You just have to be consistent.
You're throwing out good one-liners. But we just talked about it when you were meeting with the client, and I was like, "Oh, that was nice." And you said it about the swap list and breaking it, and
I don't know.
It was a banger.
I speak wisdom every day.
Jules is when you drop so many knowledge bombs,
it's hard to keep up. I don't remember, but. Honestly, what I was going to say about this topic is I feel, and this sounds a little hippy-dippy, but it's really so true and something I've grown into, is you need to learn to adapt and, like, flow like water. Like, you need to really learn to, like, just move with it. You know what I mean? Or else that's where, like, an all-or-nothing mindset can come in and be really destructive, right? It's like, okay, yesterday, it's Friday, right? This is a typical weekend scenario for a lot of people. So Friday night, going out dinner plans with friends. Boom, there's no healthy put together meal on the menu. So I'm just going to say, fuck it. And instead of doing like the salad, the baked potato and the side of beans or whatever, I'm going to say, fuck it. I'm going to get a burger, French fries. Let's get fried calamars, appetite, all this shit. Right? And then it's kind of like, oh, well, I did really bad on Friday. Fuck it. You wake up Saturday and not going to go to the gym. I already fucking gave the weekend away. Now let's just write it out till Sunday night. Now Sunday night we feel like shit. Monday morning we wake up sluggish. Right? Now the week trajectory is fucked. So it's like you gotta roll with it. Be consistent and find the fucking happiness and like fall in love with the process of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely a 7-day-a-week thing because like
100%.
One of the worst mindsets is like, oh, like Monday I'll start over. You know what I mean? Because like the amount of damage you could do between Friday evening and Sunday dinner is like could take away a whole entire week's worth of progress, which is disgusting. Like sometimes I fall off the wagon and have a couple too much pieces of cake or something like that. It absolutely happens.
But that's where the discipline comes in. And it's like you could be so disciplined and so supportive for your own health Monday through Friday and make so much progress and then decide to like just give it up for 2 days. And this is where I don't support cheat meals and off days and yada yada.
Yeah.
Because then you're taking 5 steps forward to take 10 back. Saturday and Sunday will destroy you.
Yeah.
If you decide to not stick with it. And so it all comes full circle when I say, like, if it's not something you could do forever, don't even fucking start it in the first place. If you can't stick with a meal plan and you need a cheat meal because you feel so restricted and confined in your own eating world, stop doing it.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Right? Like, and it's almost like we know this. Like, we give these meal plans the term fad diet, and still people are like, I'm gonna do it, and Monday I'm starting, and keto, here we come. Why? You know, like, you know it's not gonna work. Go seek a professional, and I'm here for you. I'm virtual. I can reach you anywhere.
Inspired change.
Really, though, I do one-on-one coaching for nutrition and functional health. But this is it. This is what it's all about. Consistency.
Even yesterday, went to the movies, saw Little Mermaid. Decent. Instead of, because, like, for me personally, the movie theaters is a place of weakness.
Right.
You know? It's because every time I've ever gone to the movie theater, it's like you train yourself. It's like, okay, like, I don't drink ices besides the movie theater. So, like, every time I go there, large icy, blue and fucking red. You gotta mix it, obviously. And then a shitload of candy. You know what I mean? It's like just a movie theater experience.
Oh, wait, but then at that point, it's like, oh, fuck it, just get a popcorn.
Yeah.
Right? You know?
I was never big into popcorn, but...
We did this the last time we went.
Yeah, we got like
you
a small popcorn.
You said fucking get a popcorn. Yeah, but we got it.
Yeah.
And it's yellow, by the way. It shouldn't be because that's so much butter.
But this time around, they had, nice at Southbury, they had the acai bowls. So you still get that, like, sweetness that you crave at the movie theater that you want to have. But it's not as detrimental to the health, which is super nice. And
we had a plan. So this is it. It's all about, like, and I feel like people think that this is so stressful and so, like, intense to do and take on, but it's not. We knew we were going to the movies. We bought our tickets a couple days prior. We knew they had...
Like a week and a half prior. Let's not play it down. We've been
it doesn't matter.
Psyched up for the movie.
Listen, even if you bought it at 8 a.m. to go see
a 7
p.m. show.
I know.
So all I'm saying here is, we had a plan. So we said, okay, we're going Friday at 7 p.m., so we were working late the night before. We weren't going to get home till like 1 a.m. So we said, you know what? Let's do a late breakfast Friday, an early dinner or late lunch, however you want to think about it, at home before we go. And then by the time we get there, a couple hours later, we'll have a little appetite, nothing crazy. That's when you're kind of like, ooh, I want a little sweet something. We're at the movies. That whole thing cocomes into play. And then we had an acai bowl. Oh. So it's like not, don't forget, acai bowls are quite the extreme meal. Like, of course they're made with fruit and it's certainly healthy, but I'm saying the calories do add up when we add the nut butter and the seeds and and the granola and all this stuff. So it's like it's not just like a bite of a candy bar.
No,
so
of course.
we made room for it. We made a plan. And now I woke up feeling like $1 million. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I did. Way better than if I drank a large icy and had like a box of Swedish fish and sour watermelons. For sure.
That's the palate.
Give you a little taste of what I crave, I never shy away from the fact that I have a sweet tooth,
Yes. He's like a sweet, sugary, sweet tooth where I'm like a chocolate.
Yeah, oh yeah. I could do damage on like processed candies.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, listen, it's all about, and I've said this so much recently to my clients, but it's always like when it comes to a decision about food or intake or habits or whatever, literally, it sounds simple, but ask yourself, is what I'm about to do going to support my health, or is it going to set me back? And really, it's like, sounds so simple and like cheesy when we talk about it, but if you're actually practicing it in the moment, it's like, yeah, wait, what the fuck am I doing? And I can do better, and I am here, challenging myself to improve my health, and why am I not going to do that now in this moment? Sometimes you just gotta you
gotta ask the question and make it apparent in front of you.
Well, be present. Remember we talked about this and you said, well, what is present? And I said, it's being grateful in the moment for what you have. Well, also, definitions will always vary and there's so many ways to be present. So here's another way. It's stopping and pausing in real time and saying, well, what am I doing right now? Where am I? What am I doing? How is this going to affect me? What are the pros? What are the cons? And what decision do I want to make moving forward?
Yeah, just like the framework. It's like, am I spending or am I investing? Am I working towards or am I taking away? Just asking yourself those questions. And it makes it harder to do the bad thing. It's like, like you always say,
like, when people have the awareness.
Well, exactly. Now, you say, if you have an apple pie, people know what's the healthier option. It's like people know that, hey, maybe I shouldn't consume this mindless content, but it's easy to just like open up TikTok or open up Twitch or YouTube or whatever and just start consuming it, and you never really just have that second to think about it. But if you do and you say, hey, like, is this helping me? Is this really what I want to do? 9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be no, and now you have to go against what you're saying in order to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you have to acknowledge, this is not going to help me, this is not what I should be doing, but I'm going to do it anyways.
But,
I feel like that's such a harder thing to do than just, like, mindlessly going to it, you know?
But even if you do it, like, if you choose, like, the devil on your shoulder who's saying, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyways, while you're doing it, you're not enjoying it, or you're thinking about,
you're like,
I
fuck
shouldn't
it,
be doing
yeah.
this. Which is fair enough. Sometimes that's what
it's a step, you know
so
what I mean?
you're not enjoying, it's not a guilty pleasure anymore. Now
yeah,
it's just like, what the fuck
I'm
am I
doing something wrong.
Yeah, like, I could be better. Oh my God, get up and change it. You know, like, so yeah, I mean, either way, when you I say this too all the time. All you gotta do, step one, heighten the awareness. You know, if you want to stop picking throughout the day and snacking throughout the day, step one, bring it up with yourself.
Yeah.
When you're walking in the kitchen and your habit is just, oh, let me just open the pantry and see what's in there. Well, no, heighten the awareness. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I guess I'm just bored. All right, let me keep going. Or fuck it, I'm gonna have my snack. Either way, right? We're never perfect. Perfection fuckingism is a illusion anyways. But, you know, we're never going to like immediately make this life-lasting change. So it's always a process. Change isn't linear. But if we could, like, in that moment, heighten the awareness, oh my gosh, we're halfway there. Now we're at least, our brain's like actively thinking about this. Now our subconscious is like, okay, so every time now we walk in the kitchen, it's no longer open the pantry, grab a snack, blah, 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 move on. Now it's like, what am I doing? Do I really want this? Now we're more in tune with our body. So if we could just do that all the time, you know, all you gotta do is really bring it up once or twice, and then the subconscious is driving, right?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's good to like reinforce it. I mean, obviously you wouldn't stop. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree, and I think there's like levels to it too. It's like your initial awareness with yourself, but then like, you know, they always say like if you can't measure, you can't change.
Yeah.
So it's like on top of that. Like, just one example that comes to mind is, like, you know, with, like, now we do, like, well, at least I do, like, the food tracker, you know what I mean? Which, like, makes that level of awareness, like, one step deeper. And, you know, that's something I use at least, like, you know, every day for breakfast and mostly lunch. But I think that, you know, the more aware and the more detailed you could get, it only helps you. Like, writing down your workouts at the gym. Or if you're snacking, you know what I mean? Like, actually notating it down, so you know, you think in the moment it's like, oh well, you know, oh today sucked, I did it, you know, I snacked 3 times throughout the day on X, Y, and Z. But after a week, if you could reflect back on the entire week, you're like, dude, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Or like, you know, time spent, like, you know, that's something I want to get into is like, not like down to the hour, because like I'm not there yet, and it's like easy to like be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then you never fucking stick with it. But like seeing like, okay, like what did I do in the first half of the day, and then what did I do in the second half of the day, and like the big overarching topics, almost like a to-do list, but you know, the opposite. It's like an accomplished list. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you can see like, you can also have a, okay, like where did I get distracted on? And at the end of the week, you could say, okay, like, you know, I excelled these days. You know, you can start just gathering more information. Okay, like I'm more productive in the first half than the second half. And this is what I'm spending a lot of my time on, not investing this, so I'm spending my time on that I shouldn't be. And then that, it just raises that level of awareness, you know, because sometimes you do things without really noticing them, you know? So just, you know, other avenues to raise that awareness that you're talking about, because ultimately, circling back, I think awareness is the most important thing.
Totally.
You can't change if you're not aware.
But that's how you do it. Is everything you just listed. That's the resource. That's the action part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And then consistency, you know, it all ties in.
It all
together.
comes full circle.
Yeah.
It is a full fucking job to take care of yourself.
Oh yeah.
Like, not take care of yourself, but like better yourself. Like, I'm exhausted. I mean, a little bit, right?
I'm supposed to feel good.
Right, no, and I do, and I feel great. It's just like, I feel like once you get to the top of like one hill, there's another one waiting for you to climb, which is like good, and that's the excitement of life. And like, that's the like, you know, adventure of who we fucking are as humans. But
damn straight.
it's just grace.
Chris.
Alright, let's see. I gotta step up my game. This is a Joey D sponsored episode.
Yeah, right.
5 ingredients or less. So.
Oh, so this is just
friends.
a cool concept, yeah. Oh, there you go.
That's right, we can get it later.
Yeah, shout out Adam Tierney if you ever hear this. But while I was on the work trip to North Carolina, I was speaking with, you know, a colleague of mine who was also in like great physical shape. So obviously we just like hit it off talking about like the gym and nutrition, and he's like I think levels above me for sure, and like the nutrition and like the supplementation and just like the overall the discipline like for
That's
sure.
what I feel.
So that's what it was. Is like he was talking about. He's like, hey, listen, like I typically, and it was hard for him too because he as well was eating the Cliff Bars. You know what I mean? So like we were like, you know what I mean? Like we were like talking about it, and like it was funny. One night there was like one Cliff Bar left, and you know we got back from dinner, and like whatever, changed, about to go to bed. I went downstairs, I took it. And the next morning he's like, you son of a bitch, did you take the last Cliff Bar? I was like, yeah,
maybe.
But
he knew it was you.
He
met there the night before.
He knew it right away. So, but what he was saying was, he's like, he really tries to stick to eating foods, or like, you know, whole foods have only one ingredient, the whole food.
Right.
But like, you know, when it does come to like foods that are processed, like 5 ingredients or less is kind of his rule of thumb. So I want to ask you about it. You know what I mean? Like get your input on that because I think it's good. You know what I mean? Like you don't want, and like he's like, dude, we don't even eat condiments anymore. He's like, because if you ever look at a ketchup fucking label, it's like there's 30 ingredients in it. It's supposed to be like some like a variation of like a tomato. You know what I mean? Why is there like xanthan gum and like all this shit in there when like it's
preservative?
You know?
I know.
So he said that was like a big thing.
Yeah. I was blessed. I've hated condiments my entire life. Mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup, you name it. I fucking hate them all. So, but, to your point, put a fucking slice of tomato on your burger. You know what I mean? Like, but, I agree. I think, you know, I'm glad you put this in the bowl because I was thinking about this the other day, the 5 ingredient situation. And I agree with it in the sense that I think, you know, if we're going to opt for something processed, I think we need to make sure that the ingredients are whole and that we're not eating like super synthetic shit. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I feel like you can have like, you know, a homemade like, whatever you want to call it, granola bar or like energy bar or whatever, made with like dates and peanut butter and oats and chia seeds and yada yada. But it could have more than 5 ingredients, but still be like a lot of great whole foods.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I feel like the whole food sense of it, 100% perfect. Like RX Bar does it right. They really don't have any preservatives. They're not always fully vegan, or plant-based. They do have like egg whites and stuff like that. But, you know, they do get the job done. They make it something that's like grab and go, packaged, processed, I guess. But you know what I mean? They don't have those preservatives and additives that like everyone shouldn't be having to begin with. So I do agree, you know what I mean? And I think that that's a really good thing to do. But it's just... He's right. Like all those other ingredients. Someone asked me the other day, they said, what are your thoughts on Impossible meats? They said, you must love them because you don't eat meat. And my response was, that's so false. I'm like, do you know that that's just a completely processed item?
Yeah.
Right? Like
packed with canola oil and bad oils.
Well, not only that, but like, let's think about it. Like, there is no such thing as impossible meat. It's impossible.
Where's the impossible tree?
Right.
It's on the impossible cow.
Right. So we are literally taking a laboratory setting, adding all this random shit into it that's, by the way, processed pre-putting it together into this processed item. And now we're like, this is glorious. No, it's not. Yeah. It's literally bringing us inflammation. It's just
very bad.
Too much.
Also, it's like, I know we probably talked about it here before, but like, if you're not going to eat meat, why are you craving like the red beef look?
Because people restrict. This is where people aren't sustainable about things, right? It's not, oh, I don't like how I feel after I eat meat. I don't like, you know, meat skeeves me out. It's none of those reasons, right? These are the people who eat Impossible meats and shit like that. They just do it because either it's trendy or they think it's good for their health or they think it's going to be better for outcomes. They're just...
Yeah, it's nasty. Like, I think it's Impossible
If you're craving a piece of chicken, go to the local farm and get, like, fresh chicken and eat chicken.
Yeah.
Don't, you know what I mean? Eat this antibiotic pumped shit from the grocery store that's $2.
Fucking Purdue.
Right, and it's like, no offense, but like, what is that? Come on, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think, really, this is my opinion on meat. I don't eat meat. Maybe I will one day in the future. I don't see it for myself unless I have to while I'm carrying a child. But honestly, I'm good. I don't crave it. If you are going to eat meat, I think it should be minimal in your diet. And I think that you should try and source local and like go somewhere where it's like actually fresh meat.
Yeah.
I do not think that like getting the discounted chicken breast or turkey or whatever the hell it is that's at its super discounted rate, that's pumped with antibiotics, and you don't know how it's raised. And farm raised means nothing, by the way. Cage free eggs means nothing. They can put a little hole in the wall and say, look, they're outside of nature. No, they're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all bullshit.
Just getting fired up.
No, but it's really all bullshit. It's like, go somewhere local to your farm, get some shit, you know what I mean? Stock up, freeze it if you need to, and that's what you want if you want fresh meat.
Well, the reality, though, is that people who live in cities, like you live in NYC, what farm are you going to go to?
Butchers.
You know?
Go to the butcher shop.
Yeah.
Go to little fucking Italy. You know they exist.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, and then if not, maybe you don't need meat. I mean, I don't know. I just think that's extreme. But I just think that, no one in the world needs meat in these high quantities. No one. I don't care if you're a bodybuilder, you know what I mean? Everything in moderation. And then also just try and source it as wholesome as possible. You know what I mean? And I bet you'll taste the difference.
Probably.
Like, eggs are the classic example, too. I say this in like every episode. Yeah. Eggs are the classic example. But here again, you go to the grocery store and you can get them. When we were in North Carolina, pre-COVID hitting.
54 cents.
It was literally, 48 at one point. 48 cents per dozen of eggs. Okay? Bright yellow yolk, yada yada you. If you had a chicken coop and was able to like harvest your own eggs, it's an orange yolk.
Yeah, like Frank Roberts when he gave it to us.
It's supposed to be orange, right? Like
way richer.
My mom's aunt, growing up, she always had chickens, so we would get farm fresh eggs. And I remember being a little girl, and I was like, to my mom, I'm like, ew, it's orange. I'm like, it's bad. And she was like, no, grocery stores.
It's good.
Right, like, it shouldn't be yellow, it should be orange. But then we look at, like, even cartoons or coloring books or, like things that are animated, and it's always a yellow yolk. And why? I mean, this is all not the best. It's just layers and layers and layers of lies. No. I'm just kidding. But it's kind of true. But I don't know. Just stick fresh, stick in moderation, do you, listen to your cravings, honor your hunger.
Stay disciplined.
Stay
hungry.
The closer you get with yourself, the easier it is to stay disciplined. Because in the process, you're going to learn to love yourself. And then it's so much easier to choose something that's healthy for you versus something that will set you back from your goals and your life.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Should raise that level of awareness. Self-awareness is what it is.
That's it. And it's a process. It's a process. So you got to just learn to enjoy it and fall in love with it. And like I said, really see it through the lens of being a challenge rather than being a chore. I like that. It's a challenge, not a chore. Add it to my quote book.
Add it to the quote list. A frozen grape is hard to chew.
Yes.
All right, well, I think that was another amazing episode. Anything to add?
That's it. If you have any thoughts you'd like to send us for a chance for them to be pulled from our fishbowl, send them to my email at julietdemiliox@gmail.com.
Or just on like TikTok or wherever you see
or
these
you could
posts. Or a comment on Spotify. I don't think people are emailing yet. I don't think we're there yet,
Well, you can email me.
Prove me wrong. Email Jules.
DM me, or you can comment. You can reach me however you want.
Have a blessed Memorial Day.